So they bring in different types of volunteers that can give them a different kind of experience.
Being in front of the kids was actually great. They really look up to you. They actually trust you with the things that you're going to communicate to them. So that it really was empowering in that, is that they trust you. You know, you're going to be teaching something today.
What, the VP and the president that you picked out, they're going to be representing your group.
It's been fun to be that voice for a day that allows them to see a different perspective and a different method of communicating that they might not be used to.
As being a banker myself, it's extremely important to learn how to save and prepare yourself for your retirement, and also learning the value of money.
Yes.
I think it's like important you bring stuff in and
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Thank you, sir.
Things like filling out a check register, filling out a deposit slip, understanding how to maintain an account balance so they don't get overdrawn, were all filtered in the lesson plan in a way that allowed them to apply something that happens in the real world while using the skills that they learn in school.
Page 16? 16?
We just think it's really interesting, you know, when we have others come in, like Junior Achievement, and interact with our kids and show interest in our students. And I think kids learn a lot more when they feel like people are interested in them. And so I think it's really important that Junior Achievement came in and did what they did today.
I'll take for pretty good print. How about that?
To actually stand up and do it, and to see kids excited about your interaction and the things that you have to offer was very inspiring at the end of the day. I had a blast, and it was a really great experience.
For us as teachers, as educators, we're continuously learning, and I think it's always valuable when a teacher can sit back and watch people implement strategies and possibly implement those in their lessons as they go forward.
Well, the message I like to send to the kids, number one, is that you can actually have fun during your job, and when you have the opportunity, it's fantastic. It's more than just, you know, ties and suits and traffic. You know, it's more of a, you know, I can actually go to work and love to go to work. So that's what I want to relay.
I'm learning more about being an adult and going into the real world.
It didn't feel like a class. It felt more of like an activity.
They're giving me advice of how to be better at what I'm going to do when I grow up. And it's really like helping me understand how it's going to be in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The 2014 Central Ohio Business Hall of Fame will begin momentarily.
Okay, so Amy, tell me about what do you want to do in the job?
I want to be an interpreter for sign language.
Maybe try to be a lawyer.
I want to be a football player.
I would like to run like a little cafe or a clothing store.
I want to do something like talk about other cultures and learn about other cultures other than the United States.
JA is an organization that works with kids K through 12 that provides them learning opportunities that they may not get in the typical classroom setting. So they bring in different types of volunteers that can give them a different kind of experience.
Being in front of the kids was actually great. They really look up to you. They actually trust you with the things that you're going to communicate to them. So that it really was empowering in that, is that they trust you. You know, you're going to be teaching something today.
What, the VP and the president that you picked out, they're going to be representing your group.
It's been fun to be that voice for a day that allows them to see a different perspective and a different method of communicating that they might not be used to.
As being a banker myself, it's extremely important to learn how to save and prepare yourself for your retirement, and also learning the value of money.
Yes.
I think it's like important you bring stuff in and
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Thank you, sir.
Things like filling out a check register, filling out a deposit slip, understanding how to maintain an account balance so they don't get overdrawn, were all filtered in the lesson plan in a way that allowed them to apply something that happens in the real world while using the skills that they learn in school.
Page 16? 16?
We just think it's really interesting, you know, when we have others come in, like Junior Achievement, and interact with our kids and show interest in our students. And I think kids learn a lot more when they feel like people are interested in them. And so I think it's really important that Junior Achievement came in and did what they did today.
I'll take for pretty good print. How about that?
To actually stand up and do it, and to see kids excited about your interaction and the things that you have to offer was very inspiring at the end of the day. I had a blast, and it was a really great experience.
For us as teachers, as educators, we're continuously learning, and I think it's always valuable when a teacher can sit back and watch people implement strategies and possibly implement those in their lessons as they go forward.
Well, the message I like to send to the kids, number one, is that you can actually have fun doing your job, and when you have the opportunity, it's fantastic. It's more than just, you know, ties and suits and traffic. You know, it's more of a, you know, I can actually go to work and love to go to work. So that's what I want to relay.
I'm learning more about being an adult and going into the real world.
It didn't feel like a class, it felt more of like an activity.
They're giving me advice of how to be better at what I'm going to do when I grow up. And it's really like helping me understand how it's going to be in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, the program will begin in 2 minutes. Please be sure to turn off all electronic devices as a courtesy to the presenters and other guests.
Hello? Hello? It's on? Wait, I thought you were saying an announcement. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Do you know what's going on in Biztown today?
I don't. Can you tell me?
Do you know what's going on at
You
Biztown
have to
today?
wait and see.
No. Are you going to donate to charity?
Yes. Excuse me. Do you know
Okay.
what's going on in Biztown today?
No, I don't.
Are you going to donate for Biztown? For Biztown?
Sure. Okay.
Are you?
Am I going where?
For Biztown?
I am not.
Do you know what's going on in Biztown today?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know what's going on at Biztown today?
No.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going on in Biztown today?
You'll have to wait and see.
Did you know there's more than 3,000 kids taking in-class businesses that are in-class classes at Biztown?
I didn't know that, but thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Do you know what's happening at Biztown?
Do I know?
Excuse me.
Do you know what's happening at Biztown?
Did you know there were more than 3,000
You'll find out.
in-class programs at JA Biztown?
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
No. No.
Do you know what's happening at JA
Do
Biztown?
you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
I don't. What's
Excuse
happening?
me.
You'll find out.
What's happening at JA Biztown?
No, I don't.
Do you know what's
going on?
happening at JA
You'll have
Biztown?
to wait and see.
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
I don't.
Excuse me. Do you know what's
Do
happening
you know what's
at
happening
JA
at
Biztown?
JA Biztown?
I don't. What is happening?
Lots of fun and engaging
You'll have to wait and
activities.
see.
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
What was your question?
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
I
Do
don't.
you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
I don't.
Okay.
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
No, I do not.
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
Are you going to donate?
It's an exciting day.
Town?
No.
Are you going to donate for Biztown?
I don't know.
Do you know what's happening
Excuse me,
at
are
JA
you going to
Biztown?
donate for Biztown?
Yes.
What's your question?
Are you going to donate for Biztown?
Absolutely.
Excuse me. Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
No.
Last people. Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown? Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
I don't.
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown? Will you donate for Biztown?
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
Yeah. What did you say?
Do you know what's happening at JA Biztown?
Yes, everything.
Junior Achievement has done a great deal for the children in my classroom and in our entire 5th grade.
Junior Achievement is trying to get kids to achieve in ways that maybe they didn't know were possible. Learning how to work as a team, work in businesses, learning just everyday life skills that you'll need to learn if you do work.
In essence, what we do is work with 5th graders to understand about personal finances, their own money. How do they manage their own money? And then more broadly, what does it take to run a business? How do you interact with each other as fellow employees in specific roles?
Being an active board member, you know, I wish I had been able to participate in a program similar to that as a 4th or 5th grader.
The students take 4 to 6 weeks in preparation with their teachers, with curriculum that we provide, to understand what does it take to run a business? How do you write checks? What are deposit slips? What are financial institutions?
My son's been talking about it for weeks. It's a big focus at the elementary school. He comes home and tells us when he gets home about how to learn about money movement, how they're learning about businesses.
As these children grow and get older, they're going to need to open up a savings account, figure out how do I write a check, what do I do to get a job.
The curriculum is rich and it's authentic. It's something that excites kids.
BizTown is a program that starts well before today when the students come, and it lasts after they get back to their school. Because it's great to get knowledge about something, but until you apply it, you don't really have enough experience to help that drive success in your life.
We did interviews. I interviewed several kids, and they did an amazing job. I was really impressed with their eye contact, their knowledge of the job that they wanted to apply for, and just their interpersonal skills of sitting down, talking to an adult, and delivering the information that they wanted to get across in a clear manner. The children are learning many life skills that you don't get from a lecture-style field trip.
I can tell you from my daughter who went through this 2 years ago that of all the things that she remembers about 5th grade, this is at the top.
We have adults and college students who come back every year and they always ask, are you still doing BizTown? Are you still going? It was something that made school special for them. And that's what kids need to be successful. They need those experiences that tie real life to the classroom. Nothing does it better than this experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Nevaeh King and Maxwell Richardson.
Hello, my name's Nevaeh King. I'm 10 years old. I'm in the 5th grade. I go to Avalon Elementary School, and I've been accepted into Ballet Met.
Hello, my name is Maxwell. I am 10 years old in the 5th grade. I go to Avalon Elementary in Mrs. Davis's Eclipse class. I'm on the MathWorks team and I play multiple sports.
Does anyone know why we are all here today?
Aren't we here to show support for junior achievement at Central Ohio?
Yes, but there are some other reasons why we came here. I heard there were 6 new jobs at J. Biztown. Do you think you can name 3 of them?
I know I can name 3. SWACO, Greater Columbus Arts Council, and the Midland Group.
I can name 3 of them too. There's 31 Gives, State Farm Insurance, and ODW Logistics.
Oh yes, we are here to welcome all these business CEOs, the big shot money people, and other employees who are just like the citizens of companies of J.A. Biztown.
But wait, what about the teachers and volunteers who helped us in J.A. Biztown? And don't forget about J.A.'s in-class programs taught by trained volunteers.
Some of them are here today, along with Mike Davis, the president of J.A., and Martin Redgrave, the chairman of the board.
You will hear from some of the best students in Columbus, like me, for example, along with getting to meet our Volunteer of the Year and Educator of the Year.
And one of the most important reasons for this event is to induct 2 new honorees into J.A.'s Central Ohio Business Hall of Fame. These business leaders represent excellence not only in their businesses, but are leaders in our community.
But we wouldn't be here today if we didn't have wonderful partners who sponsor this event. Please thank our title sponsors, L Brands Foundation and Nationwide, along with getting to meet all the other sponsors listed in your program.
In fact, none of us would be able to participate without your time, your talents, and your financial support. Please consider helping us become the young leaders and entrepreneurs of tomorrow with their involvement in JA.
Please look in the back of your program to fill out and to become involved with JA. Please fill it out and give it to a staff member or volunteer. And now please welcome a community leader who will MC our event today, Miss Angela Ann.
Great job. Boy, didn't they do great? It's so much fun being at an event and being the junior MC. Next to those kids. Is this for me? No, maybe not. All right. I always try to get taller. What you see on TV isn't always what's really happening. But good morning to everyone, and thank you again, Nevaeh and Maxwell, for a wonderful opening. I'm Angela Ann with WBNS 10 TV, and I would like to welcome all of you to the 28th Annual Junior Achievement of Central Ohio Business Hall of Fame. We, of course, would like to express our appreciation to all of you for being here and supporting not only this luncheon and the kids here, but also 2 very special honorees, Yvette McGee-Brown and Douglas Kreidler. Now, the Central Ohio Business Hall of Fame has honored many outstanding individuals over the past 28 years for their business expertise and also their community involvement. A special thank you to all the honorees who not only return to this event, but also support JA and our Hall of Fame. I know we have several former laureates that are with us today for this lunch, and I would please ask that you stand up and be recognized for your services and that we can recognize you for what you do. Thank you so much. With so many great nominees, it is always difficult to select just a few. Each honoree was selected based upon these criteria. They have demonstrated business excellence, they have exhibited courageous thinking and leadership, and each of them has a strong sense of community-mindedness. Past Hall of Fame laureates provide nominations, and then they vote on a secret ballot to determine the individuals who are selected every year. I would like to take a moment to recognize the sponsors for this year's Business Hall of Fame. Again, L Brands Foundation and Nationwide. We'd also like to thank our gold sponsors, Citi, EY, Glimcher Realty Trust, Huntington, IGS Energy, Motorist Insurance, PwC, and the Columbus Foundation. They are joined by our silver sponsors, Beecher Hill, Donato's, First Financial Bank, Ohio Health, and Worthington Industries. You can see the complete list of all our sponsors, of course, in your programs that you have at your table. And again, thank you again to all our sponsors, because this event would not be possible without all of you. Before we begin our formal program and introduce you to a few more wonderful MCs for today, we would like to invite you to enjoy your lunch. We do want to be respectful of your time, so we will continue our program in about 5 minutes. Thank you and enjoy. Hello again. We'd like to ask you to please continue and enjoy your lunch, but we are going to begin our official program here today and recognizing a lot of people. We want to begin by recognizing our Junior Achievement of Central Ohio Educator of the Year. And we have some very special presenters that are going to come up. So I would like to introduce 4 friends of ours who will announce our honorees. So will Madison George, Amber Calix, Drew Mullet, and Sam Roper please join me here on stage.
Hello, I'm Drew Mullet. I'm in the 6th grade at Davis Middle School. I'm also in percussion and I play football. I think personally that Mrs. Ciccarella really deserves this award because she was one of the few teachers who made learning fun. She had to do little dances to help us remember stuff. She gave us rewards when we did well on tests, and she taught me how to really be responsible, which helped me sign up for Boy Scouts and percussion. I know JA through BizTown. I was the CFO at the radio station. Damn. Here's my card. Mrs. Ciccarella really helped us out while we were planning. She gave us a lot of ideas and really helped us get the radio station together. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sam Roper. I go to Davis Middle School and I play football. The thing I remember most about Mrs. Ciccarella is there was never a dull moment. When she was teaching, class was always fun. She was one of the only teachers who made me look forward to school the next day. I never wanted to count down the minutes in her class. That is probably what made 5th grade my favorite year. J.A. BizTown was really cool. I got to do what I wanted to do. I was a CFO. I may not have liked the people that I worked with, but I got the job that I wanted. Mrs. Chick made sure of that. I think J.A. BizTown could have gone really bad, mainly because I've known the people in my grade for 7 years now. But Mrs. Chick had everything planned and organized well to prevent that from happening. I think my favorite part of J.A. BizTown was shopping, because it ran very smoothly. I got in, I got out, and I got what I wanted. I'm glad I got to experience such a great program with such a great teacher.
Hello, my name is Amber Calix, and I'm a sophomore at Dublin-Scioto High School. I participate in marching band, concert band, sophomore cabinet, and theater. When I was a 5th grader at Chapman Elementary, I went to J.A. BizTown with my teacher, Ms. Ciccarella. Before visiting J.A. BizTown, Ms. Chick taught my class many different things, including goods and services, how to work as a group to create signs and ads for our business, and my favorite, learning how to write checks and fill in and balance our check registers. I remember feeling very grown up and official throughout the process. Ms. Chick always treated me like a grown-up, capable of making my own decisions, sometimes with a nudge in the right direction. My job at J.A. BizTown was the CEO of the newspaper. Ms. Ciccarella helped me with the writing required to run a paper and the patience to do it correctly. The knowledge I have gained has helped me immensely. From being picked as one of my grade's top writers for Power of the Pen in 6th and 7th grade, to passing Honors English 1 as a freshman, Ms. Chick's determination and passion to teach me to write has had a huge impact on me as a student.
Hi everyone, my name is Madison George and I'm a junior at Dublin-Scioto High School. It's been 6 years since I had the privilege of being Mrs. Ciccarella's student. And over those 6 years, I've had a lot of different teachers teach me a lot of different subjects. But as I near the home stretch to graduation, Mrs. Ciccarella still comes to my mind when I'm asked of my favorite teacher. I can remember with clarity the excitement of coming home from school with my face sore from laughing, I never knew who would be teaching us that day, Mrs. Chick or her fabulous alter ego, the Queen. But Mrs. Chick wasn't just good for a laugh. She had a passion for teaching, and as a result, instilled in me a passion for learning. School is a little different for me now. AP Government is a little bit more challenging than 5th grade social studies, and please don't even ask me about physics class. But a thirst for knowledge remains, and I owe a large part of that to the woman we are honoring today. During my 5th grade year, we took part in JA BizTown, a simulated town in which we all had jobs and were adults for the day. I was editor of the newspaper, and I loved it. The day of the field trip, I put my editor outfit on and planned on producing nothing less than the best darn paper that fake town had ever seen. Mrs. Ciccarella had prepared us. I could write a check, I'd rocked my interview, and by all means, I was a bona fide grown-up. But even she couldn't prepare me for the stress of deadline or the news team completely cracking under pressure. But I digress. In JA BizTown, I got a taste for news writing, and now I'm the junior copy editor of the Irish Eye, Scioto's news magazine. If you're interested in a subscription, find me after the event. After college, I aspired to pursue a career as a fashion editor. While JA BizTown was a great experience that continues to impact me, it pales in comparison to Mrs. Chick. Honestly, most things pale when compared to Mrs. Chick. There's a reason she's the queen. When I was 11, I loved her for her warmth and ever-present energy. I loved her for supporting and believing in not only me, but every child she taught. Mrs. Ciccarella is a one-of-a-kind person and a once-in-a-lifetime teacher. Looking back, I realized she gave me so much more than fond memories and chick bucks, our class currency. She gave me ideals I will carry with me for the rest of my life. I can think of no one more deserving of this award, and I'm so honored to not only speak for her, but to have been her student. Thank you.
Deanna Ciccarella has taught for the Dublin City Schools since 1984. She began her career in Dublin after graduating from The Ohio State University that same year. During that time, she has instructed 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students in all academic areas. During her tenure, she has coached Odyssey of the Minds team, Math Olympiad teams, and served on many curriculum committees. She became involved in Junior Achievements Exchange program. Her school was the first to attend and run the city. Mrs. Chick wrote curriculum and was involved with the lesson design when JA BizTown emerged as the new and improved Junior Achievement Economic Unit for elementary students. She has supported and actively involved her students with Junior Achievement's mission to inspire and prepare young people to succeed in a global economy and to own their future economic success.
Mrs. Chick and her colleagues at Chapman Elementary used the business model from the JA BizTown curriculum to create real business, manufacture goods, and sell these goods to the student body. This project, known as the 5th grade mini mall, shows a circular economy in action. The students learn a greater lesson than just making a profit. The 5th grade students of Chapman Elementary also experience the joy of philanthropy, a lesson embraced by JA BizTown. Last year, these young entrepreneurs raised over $4,500, and they gave all of it to charity. Kids in Camp, the Dublin Food Pantry, Dublin Welcome Warehouse, Nationwide Children's Hospital, and Blessings in a Backpack all benefited from the entrepreneurial and philanthropic spirits of the Chapman 5th grade students.
Ms. Chick has been honored with winning the Golden Shamrock Award, a Dublin City School honor. She was selected to participate in a national discussion last year hosted by the U.S. Department of Education. When my students returned from a day at JA BizTown, They have made a memory, an experience, an event that will stay with them forever, said Ciccarella. Deanna burst with pride, sharing stories of her students' experiences. One student expressed, "It was the best day of my life. I have always wanted to be a CEO." One of our mayors told us that he was sure he could be president now.
Mrs. Chick is married to Mark Ciccarella. They have 2 daughters. Holly, 19, a former JA Biztown disc jockey, and Hannah, 16, a former JA Biztown personal banker. Sorry. Mrs. Chick, please come forward to accept the award for JA's Educator of the Year.
Well, I don't even know how to begin to follow them, as they are true stars. A year ago, I was invited to this magnificent event. I felt honored just to get to attend. I had no idea that a year later, I'd be standing before you, surprised by my students, and just feeling kind of overwhelmed because my devotion to this program is deep. I want to thank Pete Crozier and I want to thank Mike Davis for understanding how deeply I believe in the Junior Achievement Program and in JA Biztown. I need to thank my friends and colleagues at Chapman Elementary. They've supported me and have made sure that this has just always been a great part of our curriculum, something that we try to instill in children. You know, as educators, we very rarely ever get to seek out accolades and this kind of recognition. We just don't give each other awards. We're the award givers. We're the people that give accolades to others. So this is especially special to me today because it's very rare in our line of business that you get to speak to a group of people and tell them of the things of which you're so passionate. First of all, I need to tell you that great educational experiences are true experiences. And that's what Junior Achievement Biztown is. It's a curriculum that immerses kids and excites them and gets them ready for the real world. It's not your everyday field trip. It inspires kids. When you inspire kids, they learn. So do adults. When you involve them, you teach them to care. These are traits that you can never measure on any standardized test. But when you watch children become fiscally aware, they know to spend a little, they know to save a little, they know to invest a little, and they know to give a little more. Wow, what a wonderful and impactful part of their whole lives we've just touched. That's something that JA Biztown gives back. Teaching children to be a unified group, to work with people that you don't like, Sam, to teach them that sometimes you don't always get the job that you want, that sometimes the economy and the market dictates the path that we're called to. It's a really hard thing on a Friday to try to convince a 5th grade girl who feels she's profoundly overqualified for the assignment she's gotten. But once she gets to Biztown and realizes that there's no shame in an honest day's pay for an honest day's work, and that all jobs are important, everyone realizes that their job was perfect for them. The greatest part of Biztown that we give our children is the aspect of giving back, philanthropy. Because giving of our talents and our resources is something we have to teach our youth. It sometimes doesn't come naturally. We mentioned the mini mall that our school puts on, and this year we will raise thousands of dollars, and we will give it all to charity. It is a grander gift to the children who raised the money than to those who receive it, because they have such a sense of pride. Pride in what you do. Someone telling you, job well done. It's elevating. It's motivating. It makes you want to do things more and more. I know that JA BizTown impacts the lives of every child who gets to attend. It's really wonderful when an 11-year-old says, Mrs. Chick, I don't have time to go to lunch. I have people counting on me, payroll to make, checks to cut. There's nothing like it. I hope that all of you someday will have a chance to visit and see this in action. It sets apart from everybody because it caters to all learning styles, and it makes every child feel special. I've watched this curriculum change, as my group was the very first to ever get to go through an exchange city, and now we're Junior Achievement BizTown. But I've watched them change to try to meet all of the Common Core standards and the 21st century learning goals. Kids know when they leave there that learning is fun, succeeding is fun, but giving back to a greater good is priceless. I thank you so much for choosing me as your Educator of the Year. Thank you.
I always wanted to say this. Long live the Queen! She makes me want to go back to 5th grade. Congratulations again. Well, you know, it's pretty exciting to see how businesses and educators and, of course, Junior Achievement all work together to develop our young folks here in Central Ohio. We want to recognize another key partner, and I want to ask Henry Bright to join me now on stage. He will introduce the 2014 Junior Achievement of Central Ohio Volunteer of the Year. Henry?
Hello, everyone. My name is Henry Bright, and I am so excited to be here with you today. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm currently in the 8th grade, and I go to Metro Middle School. My favorite subject in school is probably math, and my homeroom teacher for this year is Mrs. Heiss. In my free time, I like to participate in activities such as card games, board games, tennis, and even operating my own balloon twisting business where I go and perform for people at various different events. I've got business cards if anyone wants one. I first became involved with Junior Achievement in 2012. I started by coming to JA BizTown with my school, Worthington Christian, in which we went through an economic teaching session from my teachers, Mrs. Boyd and Mrs. Beshta, a rigorous job application and interview process similar to the actual ordeal in the real world, then an official day of our labor at our new jobs to experience what it was like to work as an adult. Because I was so stimulated and pleased with the whole experience, I also came to the summer camps for both 2013 and 2014. I greatly enjoyed my time spent at this JA BizTown summer camp because we got to play tons of fun educational games, we got to function and live like adults, acting independently and getting training for our future, and we were able to work for a company as if it were a real position. We played one game that I especially liked that was called Business Traders, where we received a few popsicle sticks of various different colors, and we had to trade sticks with others. We didn't know which sticks would be worth the most until the end, so we had to pick a strategy of trade in an effort to try and get the most points. It really helped to teach me how to handle my money, and that I had to pick a strategy rather than doing it blindly. I was so excited when we finally got to perform our jobs. We had prepared for quite a while, so I was ready to get to work. The first time, when I came with my school, I earned the position of Chief Financial Officer of IGS Energy. The second time, at the summer camp, I earned the position of Chief Executive Officer at the Career Center. And during this past summer camp, I was elected to be the mayor of all of JA BizTown. That was a lot of fun. But these jobs also showed me all the good work ethics of an employee and employer, such as time management, respect, and obedience, as well as how tough and stressful work can really be. But I know that I already have a better looking future because of all the personal, financial, and labor skills I learned at JA BizTown. And if it wasn't for the faithful service of the staff and volunteers, such as Mrs. Bingham or Mrs. Betteridge, that work there, I know I wouldn't be in such a great position for my future. And subsequently, I know that I will plan on volunteering at JA BizTown Summer Camp in the future so that I can help other kids get a brighter future just like I got thanks to Junior Achievement. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing our Volunteer of the Year, Jack Frencho. As a wealth management advisor for the Private Client Reserve of the U.S. Bank, Jack helps clients to work towards their financial goals. Jack connects clients with the U.S. Bank's comprehensive wealth management services in investment management, private banking, trust and estate services, and wealth planning. Jack takes the time to understand his clients' needs, which has made him a successful mentor for the students of Junior Achievement. By the end of this school year, Mr. Frencho will have taught 9 in-class programs since the beginning of the 2011 and 2012 school year for Junior Achievement. He is a guest trainer who helps prepare new volunteers for their service of the JA students. Mr. Frencho also actively recruits volunteers to serve with Junior Achievement. He even spoke about his experience with Junior Achievement during a training day for one of the JA in a Day programs. Mr. Frencho not only serves as a volunteer for Junior Achievement, but also for the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. Jack is a member of the Notre Dame Alumni Club of Ohio as well. In his free time, he spends time with his wife, 2 adult children, and 2 grandchildren. He also enjoys yard work, golf, and making sushi. So now, please help me welcome Mr. Jack Frencho.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much. Thank you, Henry. First thing he did before introduction is he gave me his business card. So I felt compelled to give him mine as well. So we're going to do some business together. I have a financial plan, and I can work for you. And you're, in about 2 years with your high net worth status, we've got you covered. Okay. All right. Great. Thanks again. This is such an honor. When Leah and Debbie came into my office a couple weeks ago, they said they wanted to talk to me, and I said, well, I'll just come over to your office, or we can go to lunch or whatever. No, we've got to come to the office. So I was told then that I would be Volunteer of the Year, and I just did not know what to say. It's truly humbling, and it's an honor to represent the volunteers, many of which are in this room right here. It's an amazing organization, and like Henry said, when I started to volunteer for Junior Achievement, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I tell you what, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I just finished my 9th class now with Moeller Elementary, just near Children's Hospital. Second graders, and I've done second graders. I've taught second graders all 9 sessions. And whether it's at New Albany or Westmount or Moeller Elementary, the children are all the same. They're all starving for information, and it's just a pleasure to help them advance, not only with their education, but also learn more about the community. I also wanted to let you know that those of you that are not volunteers, there's plenty of volunteers that you can talk to today to learn more about that, about the Junior Achievement, and I hope that more of you will continue to volunteer. If you have any questions, please contact me. But leaders like students like Henry today are definitely leaders for tomorrow. So we appreciate everything that Henry and the children in the schools are doing through Junior Achievement. So thank you very much again, and thank you. Thank you.
So when we all leave here today, we'll have to update our Rolodex because I think we're going to be leaving with handfuls of business cards, which is a great thing. As we have already seen today from our students and our educators and our volunteers, it is important that we bring the community together to develop our current and our future success. To share his perspective on the importance of preparing young people and also our community as a whole to achieve and sustain excellence, I'm pleased to welcome to the stage now JA's Chairman of the Board, Martin Redgrave.
Good afternoon. Aren't these kids great? Now, they're all styling bright this morning, but I particularly like Henry, right? So the dark blue suit, the white tie. Henry, you just need to get one of these, burgundy ties, and you're all set to go. So let me start out by sincerely thanking everybody for being here today to support Junior Achievement. This is something that we care deeply about. I can't imagine a better endorsement and description of the work that we're doing than what Mrs. Ciccarella just did for us. Thank you so much for that incredible display of your passion for the work of Junior Achievement and the education that you're providing for all of our students. It is my honor and pleasure to serve as chairman of Junior Achievement for the past year and the next year. So on behalf of our board of directors, I wanted to start out by recognizing and congratulating Doug Kreidler and Yvette McGee Brown, and to honor them as our newest Hall of Fame laureates. They'll be up in just a minute with more students to talk about themselves a little bit more. It's interesting because Doug and I were talking about this earlier today, and this is a little bit of a different approach for us, right, here at Junior Achievement. Historically, you would have seen more traditional CEO, founder, entrepreneurs as being recognized. I'm absolutely thrilled that our past Hall of Fame laureates, because remember, the Hall of Fame laureates that are being elected today are nominated and selected by the past Hall of Fame laureates, not by myself, not by the Board of Junior Achievement. So for them to select now amazing not-for-profit, and in the case of Doug, performing arts leader, and in the case of Yvette, somebody with a government, civic, judicial, and legal background that she brings to our community is an amazing step forward for us, and I congratulate you for taking us to that place. And I also wanted to congratulate our Teacher of Year, Deanne Ciccarella, and our Volunteer Year of Jack Franco. So let's talk about Junior Achievement for a minute. It is something that we've talked about a lot already today. Last year, I talked about the strategic plan that we've adopted, the direction that we're headed in. And what I talked about specifically was kind of the three-pronged strategy that we've adopted and have been now executing against. And the first part of that was to dramatically expand the number of students, number of young people that we can serve with the great JA programs that you've heard about already today. The second prong of that strategy is to extend the core programming of Junior Achievement to add more of the things that Junior Achievement nationally is able to do to our community. Things like the company program that many of you may have grown up in if you were involved in Junior Achievement years ago like I was. Things like Finance Park, which is a high school level program that would allow us to go even further in developing and teaching our high school level students about business, finance, and the way the economy works. So that's our second platform. And our third platform is what we've named New Frontiers. We talked a little bit about that last year, not going to go into a lot of detail today, but New Frontiers is our ambition to do more, to do new and innovative things that frankly not even JA National has done. And we've identified a number of, well, we've actually narrowed it down from 15 to 20 ideas to 3 core ideas that we're pursuing. One is what we call certifications, the idea that we could actually create an accredited certification for our students that are coming up through the JA curriculum of education. So they'd be able to demonstrate to employers that they are certified JA students. Another is internships. As many of the business leaders in the room know, we've all done anecdotally some form of internships. We've sponsored, it may have been from our sons and daughters, frankly, but it also may have been for others. We have the ambition to try to create a systematic way to approach internships for those coming up through JA so that you can actually get real live work experiences through a well-organized internship program. And the last is an entrepreneurial focus, more efforts around bringing our entrepreneurs to bear against those that really would like to do more in the entrepreneurial space. So that's what we're up to. The thing I wanted to talk a little bit more about today is another thing that we've been working on within the community. So people like Doug Kreidler at the Foundation, Alex Fisher at Columbus Partnership, Kenny McDonald at Columbus 2020, Michael Dalby at the Columbus Chamber. We've been collaborating around this question that I think the community is now starting to come to grips with, which is, are we doing an adequate job of helping our young people to be prepared for success in their careers? And so I wanted to talk today just a bit about a little bit of a framework around that. If we can just bring up that first slide. It's what I call a supply and demand kind of structure. So as you know, as employers, we are generating demand for high skilled workforce. And one of the things that we've learned in the work that we've been doing in the community is that there is a coming workforce crisis. In fact, Kenny McDonald, Columbus 2020 would declare factually we are in a workforce crisis. There's more demand than we are meeting with the supply. Obviously, we have a lot of supply. We have a lot of capabilities within the community to deliver young people through our education system, but there's a gap. So just bring up that next slide. There's a gap in terms of our ability to generate and develop systematically well career success, to bring together the supply that we have in the community with the demand that we're generating. And just bring up that next slide as well. So as you know, as employers, whether it's those of us that are in traditional businesses, whether it's government, education is an employer, right? Not-for-profits are employers, faith-based organizations. All of us are employers. All of us are generating this demand, and that demand is increasing in Central Ohio for highly skilled employees. On the supply side, we have a lot of organizations that are working diligently on helping to do youth career development. And one of the things that we did recently through the auspices of the organizations I just referred to is we asked Columbus Research Partners to look into the community and take a look at who is in fact out there providing these kinds of services that are in some way connected to the mission of youth career development. And what we identified through that research is that surprisingly there are a lot of organizations in the community. In fact, we identified 200 discrete programs where somebody is involved in something that is related to career development. Those organizations are serving anywhere from between 25 and 20,000 students per year. In the case of junior achievement, that's the one that's in the 20,000 plus category. But what we've also identified, as you can see on this chart, is that bridge between those of us, including junior achievement, that are engaged in helping to prepare young people to both identify, understand that there are careers out there for them, to be exposed to those careers, to learn about, to be actually engaged in participating through internships and other things in real learning about those careers, that there's a gap. And the gap is that we're not doing enough to help these young people be prepared to succeed in their career, and we're not addressing enough of the need. For instance, in the junior achievement case, we're only addressing about 5% of the student population in Central Ohio that we could be serving with the programs that you see on the left-hand side of this chart. We have an opportunity to do a lot more. So with that gap in mind, we do believe that junior achievement is one of the most effective ways that we can address that gap. We're immensely proud of the work that junior achievement and the team is doing, both in our student and volunteer engagement, as well as in developing the funding for the work. However, despite all of that great progress, as I said, we're still only serving a very small percentage. In fact, if you add up all 200 programs with all of the work that's going on in the community, we're still only serving about 15% of the demand that we would have for youth career development in this community. One of the things we've also been organizing is conversations in the community. We had one on October 20th with the left-hand side of that chart. We're having one on November 24th with the right-hand side of the chart that the Columbus Foundation is hosting and the others are sponsoring to really engage more broadly in this conversation about what can we do to improve on addressing this gap. So our fundamental hypothesis is we believe that Central Ohio has an opportunity to do a better job systematically of helping our young people to be prepared for success and linking them to rewarding careers in the Columbus region. And we believe that we can help our youth identify, learn about, and prepare for successful careers by providing experiences that help them develop financial, career, and entrepreneurial skills. And of course, we're asking for your help. As community leaders, we all need to share the junior achievement story. We all need to participate in addressing this youth career development gap. As volunteers, we need you as leaders. We need you as teachers. In other words, we need your experience. We need your skills. And of course, the money. For us to do the work that we're doing, JCO is dominantly funded by individual, corporate, and foundation gifts. We don't have a government or other stream of funding. So we need more resources to expand the work that we're doing and address the strategic plan that I just described. So in closing, it's a great honor for me to serve in this role. I did want to mention that as I step down from this role next year, the mid-next year, Dwight Smith, who many of you in this room know well, has agreed to serve as my successor as chairman of the board. I'm going to stay on the board, of course, and continue to volunteer my time. But I can't be more pleased to announce today that Dwight is going to be my successor because, not only is Dwight a CEO of a Sophisticated System, a founder, entrepreneur, served the community very broadly, he also is a JA alum and a Hall of Fame laureate, which will be a first for our organization. So with that, let me just close by saying, we fundamentally believe that we can change the lives of our young people in our region by doing this work together. That's why I'm here, and I hope you'll join us on this journey. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mike, who's going to talk a little bit more about the work of junior achievement in the past year. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. We're having some fun now, aren't we? I'd like to thank everyone, each of you for being here. I'd like to thank our past laureates for being here. Could I ask for our staff and current board members to please stand so that we can just take a look, and if you have any question, you can ask these brilliant individuals any question about junior achievement. So staff and board, please stand up. So thank you all. One of the things that I found compelling 4.5 years ago when I came to be part of junior achievement is we began asking questions with the help of Greg Moran and our board leadership. To Martin's point, how are we getting young people ready for success in their career in our community? This is the part where you think about the answer to that question. So how do we get kids ready for success in their career? The most common answer to that by far is either I don't know or we don't, which is a startling answer in our opinion. There are educators, as Deanna and others, that are doing fabulous work. There are businesses who are doing amazingly well in our community. And what we hear over and over again is we're not aligning the intelligence and the energy and the effort around what are we doing and how are we prepping the kids. And so I was walking by in the office the other day, and Stephanie Campbell-Merkel had a sign on her wall. And can you show the next slide, please? And I just laughed when I saw "Don't believe everything you think." Because as we talk to kids and ask them what they want to do and how they want to act and what they want to be, they don't know. We need to model for them. We need to let them know they can work in government or faith or for-profit or not-profit. The core thing that we do at Junior Achievement is we work with young people and candidly adults so that we can understand the business of our passion. Because all too often, that's not how we base the decisions on what we do. And we want to make sure that we develop young people so they understand the business of their passion and the work that they want to do and how they want to behave. So there are a lot of activities and things that we do just on some of the metrics. If I could have the next slide, please. To Martin's point, we're really proud of the fact that while that's blank in the moment, it's going to come up. There you go. Where we've gone in the last 4 years from 10,700 students to 20,000 students. And while we're really proud of that 90% growth in 4 years, our expenses have gone up 29% in that 90%. Our revenue's gone up 72%. We're doing more effectively as running the business of teaching young people about business. But the thing that's really taught us is that we need to look at it as a regional approach. So the next slide, please. So as you'll see, the highlighted area is our footprint. We work with 49 school districts, 174 schools, 2,451 volunteers. It's amazing the energy that's coming to this work that's traditionally been here and that's increasing. But the thing that I'm kind of impressed by and blown away by just continually is that volunteers and business leaders and people that come to teach the kids walk away saying, I never thought of it that way. I was never able to articulate those issues in that way, either to kids or to adults. So what we would love to do is, there's a beautiful, I leaned down and spoke, there's a beautiful page that, and you don't have to look at it now, or you can, that's in the second to the last page that's an engagement sheet. And some people could look at this as a request for gifts, and it is. That's how I would look at it, if I were you. But we ask everyone we talk to about 3 things. We need your leadership to talk and open our brains to look at it differently. The kids are looking at it differently. As we talk to each other, none of us has the perspective to address the issue. We've got to jump in together and charge the hill as a team and listen to each other. So we need your leadership to continue and drive this conversation. The second piece we need is your time. We need to open up your calendar. We won't do that. We need you to open up your calendar and share your experience with these kids. They need to see your career as an option for them. And I appreciate Jack for sharing that request of you. And then, of course, we need to Martin, I think he eloquently positioned it as cash. Cash. So this really is a partnership and engagement sheet that we would like to engage you with. If you want to find out more, let us know. We'll just have a conversation. But I can't tell you how much I appreciate, and we just continue to be energized and excited by the reaction people have to this topic. And so if you think it's just for the kids and we're just here to help them, final slide, please. Oh, second to last slide. So we need to engage young people. They're going to benefit. We as adults are going to benefit. Employers, to Martin's point, we're going to connect so they can get a pipeline coming to their work. And of course, the region's going to benefit. And now the last slide for me. If you think it's just for the kids' benefit, think again. We really need your help. We promise you it will give you energy and excitement that you can't imagine. And we appreciate everything you do for us, the partnerships, the collaborations, and the excitement that you bring to this work. And on behalf of all these amazing young people that are coming up here and presenting to you today, on behalf of all those 20,455 young people, I'd like to look every one of you in the eye. Don't have that kind of time, but feel the love and say thank you very much.
So now I would like to introduce two more of those amazing young people that Mike's been talking about, and they will introduce our first Junior Achievement of Central Ohio Business Hall of Fame 2014 honoree. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Trifina Awua and Nyrobi Whitfield.
Hi, I'm Nyrobi Whitfield. I'm 10 years old in the 5th grade at Avalon Elementary School in Mrs. Davis's Eclipse class. I'm here with my mom and dad. While I was at JA BizTown, I was really busy paying bills, sending letters, having fun, and more. What I learned while doing that was time management. As I ran around working, I learned to manage my time and get things done. Time management is when you manage to get a lot of things done in a matter of time. So have fun and get things done. Now. Another thing I did at JA BizTown is philanthropy. Why donate? Well, there are many reasons why. For charity, for orphans, for new materials, and just out of the kindness of our hearts. What I learned at Columbus Foundation is that they want people to donate. So give to the people who need it.
Hi, my name is Trifina All. I'm also in the 5th grade at Avalon Elementary School, Miss Davis Eclipse class. During my time at JA BizTown, it was very important for my team and me to collaborate. It was very important because as the CFO of Raising Cane's, we had to agree on things like our logo and our slogan. So if we didn't work together, it would be chaotic. Also, it was very important for my team and me to collaborate because to work as a team, it helps you get to gain trust and friendship. Also, during my time at BizTown, it was very important for good customer service. That was an important skill while running a business. It was important because when people came to our shop and we were being rude to the customers, they wouldn't like our store. This means they wouldn't come back. So, additionally, with customer service, it helps you feel good to know that you're helping someone accomplish something, that in one way you have also accomplished something. Today, we are here to introduce you to Miss Yvette McGee Brown. Well, we'll continue. She is She is presently a partner at the law firm of Jones Day, specializing in business and tort litigation.
While a common theme in Mrs. Brown's professional work is her advocacy for children and families, she's also an active community and corporate leader. She serves on the boards of Motorist Insurance and Glimcher Realty Trust. She has also served on the boards of MI Homes, Fifth Third Bank of Central Ohio, Ohio University, the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, and the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. She is the former chair of the United Way of Central Ohio, the Ohio State University Alumni Association, and the YWCA Board of Directors.
In 2008, she was inducted into the Ohio Women's Hall of Fame. Among her many honors are the Children's Defense Fund Odd Changers Award, the Ohio University Medal of Merit, the Ohio State University Distinguished Service Award, the Champion of Children Award, YWCA Woman of Achievement Award, Women of Color Woman of the Year, and the Girl Scout Grid Award. Wow, that's something I hope to achieve in life.
She graduated from Ohio University with a degree in journalism and public relations. She continued her education at the Ohio State University Moritz College of Law, earning her Juris Doctorate. She has honorary doctorate degrees from Ohio Dominican University, Wilberforce University, and Central State University.
Mrs. Brown is married to Tony Brown, a public school educator.
They have 3 children and 2 grandchildren. Let's hear what some of Mrs. Brown's friends have to say.
I've known Yvette probably for a couple of decades. She's been a longtime family friend. She's been a community leader, someone who I've always admired and known through the community. And currently she serves on our board of trustees for Glimpse Realty Trust, so I've gotten to know her even better recently.
I met Yvette in 2010, right after the election, and I thought to myself, boy, she'd make a great member of our court.
We've probably known each other for at least 25 years. She thinks that she's watched me. I feel like I've watched her all of this time. So I think we're very good friends, very good colleagues in the community, and very good support for one another in the business community.
I think what makes Yvette so successful is her viewpoint. You know, again, Yvette has a heart of gold. Yvette wants the best for everybody else and puts other people first. And people who put other people first usually wind up on top themselves. And that's the type of a person that Yvette is.
I think Yvette is successful in all that she does because she's lucky. And I say that, and it takes nothing from her, because let me explain to you why I think she's lucky. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. She is always prepared. She studies, she gets it right, she works at it, and opportunity is always out there.
There's many components that go into success. And fortunately for Yvette, she epitomizes so many of those components in one package, and I think that that's what makes her so successful. You start out with a really vivacious personality. If you talk to anybody, they will say when Yvette comes into the room, she lights it up. She comes in and infuses enthusiasm and a feeling of energy that is really a welcome addition to any group.
Yvette has affected the community in so many ways. She's always approached everything from the standpoint of just being a great person who always wants to do the right thing, and probably a specific emphasis on kids and kids' well-being.
There's not enough time to account for every organization or a group that has called upon Yvette and asked her to be part of what they're doing.
In terms of Yvette leaving her mark, there are 2 things that come to mind. First is that signature laughter. I don't care where I am, if Yvette's in the room, you will know it. I mean, she has this engaging, infectious laughter. It's wonderful. So she will leave that mark on the community, no doubt. The other mark she will leave, I think, is a series of firsts. It's not that Yvette has tried to be the first, but she's been a natural stepping into first roles.
For me, the way Yvette has left her mark on the community is she's always done the right thing. She's always been very strong, but she's also done it behind that wonderful smile and that great laugh.
Well, I think outside of work, what consumes Yvette is her family. And I have on many occasions been able to witness her interaction with her husband. It's just a beautiful thing.
There's one thing that I have taken from Yvette that I think a lot of people can identify with is her honesty. And she is that way because she cares. So it's a caring type of honesty, and she's unwavering in it.
I think that she's deserving of this honor, this award, because of her, just the cumulative effect of what she has been able to accomplish. I think she has star power, and people recognize that, but she does not in a good way. I think she is genuine.
Well, Yvette has done so many different things in her career, so it's hard to say what specific thing would qualify Yvette for this award. Maybe it's a body of work, maybe it's her experience, her knowledge, her reach. Her reach in the community is so broad.
First, I think it's long overdue. I think she is deserving of this award because she has traveled the world of civic, community, business, political. She has done it all. She has been all of it, and there's more to come. So I think she's the perfect example of someone who's deserving of this recognition.
Congratulations, Yvette. You so deserve this award and many other awards. You are a wonderful person, and I'm so happy to call you my friend.
Yvette, I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate you on this well-deserved honor. No one works harder than you do. I am so grateful for your contribution to your community, to the legal system, to the state of Ohio, but I'm also so very grateful for your contribution and the wonderful friendship that we have.
Yvette, I just want to offer my personal congratulations to you on this recognition. I can't think of anyone else who deserves it more, and I want to welcome you to the club.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Yvette McGee Brown.
Thank you for that great introduction. And I know I'm a billable lawyer now, so we're going to be quick. And my partner in charge is sitting there like, let's go, time is money. So let me first say to my inductee, Doug Kreidler, it is an honor to share this year with you and to be part of your class. Doug and I both talked about it after we were notified we were receiving this award, and we were like, they picked us? It just seems so odd, but it's really a pleasure. And to that beautiful Angela Ann, thank you. And to Miss Ciccarelli, I never had a teacher like you in 5th grade, but I made out okay. So congratulations to you. And to Nyrobi, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Trifina, thank you for the introduction. So I want to let you know how honored I am to receive this award, and to the Chief Justice who is here, and one of my dear friends. She was the gift that I got from 2 years of traveling the state. And to Michael Glimsher, the chairman and CEO of Glimsher Realty, and to Donna James, who could not be here. I am really honored to have you in my life and to receive this award. I have to tell you that this community has given me far more than I could have ever imagined growing up here. When I was at South Mifflin as a 5th grader and graduated from Mifflin High School, I had no idea that there was anything like this that even existed or what my career might be. And so what I would say to the young people here in the room is that the reason I've been able to achieve success is because I had education, and that education makes you fearless. As you've heard, I've had a lot of jobs. I've been able to have a lot of opportunity, but it was because I was always open to saying yes. Because I had an education, I knew that even if I reached for something and it didn't work out, I could still take care of myself because I was a lawyer. And so what I want to say to you, those young people who are here, is don't be afraid to push yourself. Don't be afraid to take those hard classes. Don't be afraid to apply to that elite school and to challenge yourself with your careers, because you never know what's going to happen unless you try. And if you fail, so what? If you fail, you pick yourself up and you move on. It really is, for the adults in this room, all about taking these children and not just being their mentor, but being their sponsor, being that person who looks out for them. Because as a kid, you can't know what you don't know, and they need you to engage in their life, to be there to show them the path, and to open doors for them. You know, life is really about stretching yourself, continual learning, and looking for those opportunities. I have to tell you, and Maureen will laugh when I share this, is that I wasn't thinking about the Ohio Supreme Court. In fact, when Governor Strickland actually approached me about appointing me to the Ohio Supreme Court, my first inclination was no. And then one morning, no telling how Maureen knew this, but one morning at 8 a.m., I promise you, Maureen O'Connor, who had just been elected Chief Justice, calls my cell phone. How she had my number, why she was calling me, I don't know. But I literally sat up in my chair and she's like, Yvette McGee Brown? I'm like, yes. This is Maureen O'Connor. And I said, yes, ma'am. And Maureen said to me, she said, do not let this opportunity pass you by. You will be welcomed by your colleagues. This is a really good way to serve your state, and we want you to accept this appointment. And from that day to this, she has been an amazing friend and leader on that court, and I thank you for making me take that opportunity. To my other friends in the business community, I want to say to Don Shackelford and Techie, but Don was the first person who asked me to serve on a corporate board at Fifth Third Bank, and if you know Don's sense of humor, he sent me a letter that said, I'd like to talk to you about joining our board, but if you don't want to talk about that, maybe we'll just go to lunch and walk down the sidewalk. So, the most interesting invitation I've ever received. To my friends at MI Homes and Bobby Schottenstein, I want to thank them for the opportunity to serve on the MI Homes board. It was the board I had to give up when I went on the Supreme Court, but I learned so much about leadership and integrity, especially leading through a tough time when the economy crashed. MI Homes came through that not only stronger, but bigger and expanding, and that really is Bobby's leadership. To my friends at Motorist Insurance Group, you know us. They're sitting right there with John Bishop and Dave Kaufman and the one and only two-time Heisman Trophy winner, Archie Griffin. And my husband keeps thinking that kid at Florida State's coming back. He is not. I don't care what they do. If I got to go tackle Jameson myself, he is not winning a second Heisman. We are going to continue to have the one and only. And then I also want to thank Liza Kessler, our partner in charge, who you just can't imagine. After the election, I was saying to some people earlier, it's after you lose a statewide election, it's like being at your own funeral. Everybody feels sorry for you. They come up to you. Liza has this very unique recruiting style. She sent me a lovely note about my service on the court, and her last sentence was, "We'd like to be part of your future." And Jones Day has been a wonderful place for me to practice law and to be with great colleagues, and I really, really appreciate that opportunity. To my mom, thank you for raising 3 kids and putting us first always. And finally, to my husband, many of you in this room, I know you mean it, although you joke when you say it that you feel sorry for him. It is not easy being married to me. No, really, it's not easy. So you guys should show him love when you see him, because I can't even compliment him correctly. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yvette, congratulations. Tony, you got the support of the whole room, so love you. So next, we want to introduce our next honoree, and please welcome to the stage Francesca Tabak to the stage to introduce.
Hi, my name is Francesca Tabak, and I currently attend New Albany High School as a freshman. My teacher, Mr. Morgan, is the one who nominated me for this event, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity he gave me to represent New Albany. With the hefty workload in high school, right now I am enjoying what extracurricular activities my school has to offer. In school, my favorite subject is math, and I take honors geometry, which has provided me with a challenge. Challenges are my passion and always excite me, which has made me enjoy junior achievement. In elementary school, my class attended the JA Biztown to introduce us to the concept of going to work, spending money wisely, applying for a job, and how to write a check. I thought it was such a good program because you really felt like you were part of a company, as much as a fifth grader can. My love for math influenced me to become a CFO in JA Biztown. Making a resume and having an interview was such a nerve-wracking experience because so many other people were applying for the very same job as me. It made me realize that every interview of my life would feel the exact same way, setting a standard and helping me further with speeches I present in class. Being the CFO came with a huge burden because I was the backbone of the company and had a lot of responsibility. It was immense, but I had so much fun because I always love a good challenge, and this was definitely an excellent goal for me to achieve. So during the day, I worked hard and we made a profit, and that feeling of success was worth the effort. It was such a good feeling because, and I will never forget it because whenever I work on something, I always strive for the very same feeling of satisfaction. Later on, in 8th grade, we had a volunteer come in twice a week for a few weeks to talk about budgeting, spending, credit cards, debit cards, and learning how to save. This was the JA Economics for Success in-class program. For me, I love this because in school, we always try to keep up with the style and spend so much money in the process. As a class, we learned that if we keep spending so much money like this, then we won't be able to save for the things that matter: college, a car, and anything else that you will need or want to buy in the future. Then I learned that when I get a job and start getting a steady paycheck, I will have a credit card or a debit card, and I need to learn how to use it because these things are not that far away. We were also introduced to our spending habits, and we learned how to become better shoppers and how to budget ourselves, which is needs versus wants. It really set me up for having an interest in finance, so this year I decided to take personal finance. Junior Achievement set the standards for this course and helped me have a head start in this class in life. I believe that Junior Achievement was one of the best experiences of my middle and elementary school career because it prepared me for the world of business, which I hope I can one day be a part of. Someday I look forward to volunteering for this amazing program and giving back to the class that taught me so much. I have the pleasure today of introducing Douglas F. Kreidler, the 5th president of the Columbus Foundation, a community foundation serving the Central Ohio region since 1943. The foundation awarded more than $160 million in grants to nearly 3,000 charitable organizations in such fields as education, health, social services, community development, urban affairs, and the arts. As of December 31st, 2013, the foundation's assets totaled more than $1.7 billion. Prior to joining the Columbus Foundation as president and CEO, in February 2002, Mr. Kreidler served for 18 years as the president of the Columbus Association for the Performing Arts, during which time he saw the expansion of Kappa from one theater in Columbus to owning / operating 6 theaters in Columbus, the Chicago Theater in downtown Chicago, and the legendary Schubert Theater in New Haven, Connecticut. During his tenure, he undertook restorations of the Ohio, Palace, and Southern theaters. Before his selection as Kappa's president, Mr. Kreidler was National Deputy Trip Director for John Glenn's presidential campaign, tour manager of the Cleveland Orchestra, as well as concerts director for Blossom Music Center, its 18,000-seat summer home. He is a past chair of the International Society for the Performing Arts, an international organization of leading arts professionals from more than 50 countries in every region of the world. He earned a Master of Fine Arts degrees in Arts Management from the University of Utah on a Ford Foundation Fellowship and a Bachelor of Arts degree from Ohio Wesleyan University. And now let's hear from some of Doug's friends.
I think I've known Doug Kreidler since, way past 20 years. We were both recruited to work on the arena issue. In addition to that, our daughters are best friends and have played soccer together for the better part of their lives.
I met Doug when I was on a panel on entrepreneurship at the Columbus Foundation.
Well, I've known Doug for over 25 years. I worked on the CAPA board with him and on the Columbus Foundation board as chairman. So I witnessed Doug growing as a leader over 25 years, and he's turned into a superb leader.
Doug has this profound ability to see potential in people everywhere, no matter what their level or no matter what they're doing. And I think that he has a great eye for that.
Doug is so successful because he truly has everyone else's best interest at heart.
People have gone to him whenever there was a disaster. He really is such a great problem solver and a great leader. I think there's no question that he has gone into troubled situations and gotten institutions out of it.
He is totally transparent. You know, what you see is what you get. Very creative. He's competitive. He's caring.
Nobody knows what makes the city tick more than Doug Kreidler. I think on so many levels, Doug is the glue that holds the city together behind the scenes.
Basically, he has created this culture through his work and his platform that if you want to be a cool kid, you have to give back. And so it's very ingrained in both the top levels of business leadership as well as among young entrepreneurs that giving back and focusing on how to contribute to the community is what cool kids do.
Doug, he's got deep roots, and he really wants to serve his community, the one that he knows so well.
He touches all parts of the community, especially at the Columbus Foundation. If it's building leaders, he's there. If it's helping on the culture, he's there. When it comes to helping the community, he's everywhere. I think what I've learned from Doug is to champion and celebrate people.
So some of the deep, dark secrets I know about Doug are, one, that he is a huge music snob. So if you want to talk about the merits of Miley Cyrus with Doug, that's you'll get a really amusing response there.
You have to listen to him carefully, because sometimes things will slip out and then says, oh, right, here's a funny human being, and here's someone who really, who can see the humor in things and who can be wacko and whatever. And I think that's what makes him extraordinary.
Doug is the slowest eater on the planet because he chews everything 40,000 times. He loves the outdoors. I actually just left a meeting with him, and he had biked over to my office. I don't know if anyone knows how much Doug bikes. He's an avid Cleveland sports fan. He's an avid sports fan.
Another secret I know is that he, at one time, I believe, was a roadie kind of dude for Journey or some other band from the old-timey days. So
Doug deserves this award because he is a role model in the community.
As a nonprofit leader, he acts more like a for-profit leader. He's very entrepreneurial, always coming up with ways in which the organization could make money, and he's such a good convener. One of the things he did at the Columbus Foundation is to create a space at the foundation where people can meet, talk, discuss ideas, have improvement lessons on how you might make your nonprofit agency do better.
And I also think he leaves quite a lot of people in his wake who have been influenced by watching his work, and that they will be able to carry on this kind of philosophy.
He connected a lot of young entrepreneurs and continues to do so, and connects us together, and then also connects us to some of the greatest business leaders in Columbus.
You made such a great choice. I am such a fan of Doug Kreidler and of his family, and I think he represents the very best of what we have in our country. Someone who is who's smart, who's forward-thinking, who has great family values and community values. I wish we could clone him, but maybe that's the next thing you should do with him instead of giving him a prize. Just get some DNA sample and just kind of clone a couple 100,000 Doug Kreidlers.
Doug, I'm glad to do this. I've been a friend of yours for a long time. And the one thing I've always felt from you is that strong, trusted friendship. You're a great leader. You deserve being in the Hall of Fame.
Doug, congratulations. You have changed my life, and I'm so thrilled that you are being honored today.
Doug, I can't think of anyone more deserving to be a role model for this community by being a member of the Business Hall of Fame, more so than you. Congratulations and welcome to the club.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Doug Kreidler.
Well, I think I could summarize my remarks in one sentence, and that is, it is easy to be married to my wife. I don't know that I need to say the rest of this. Actually, Tom Krause said to me earlier, as you know, he was named CEO of the Year recently, that he hopes I'll be really brief because he's got to get to a technology meeting soon. So I guess a payback for him, I'll just say that if you have stayed, and I can't believe how many of you have, thank you. I guess it's free pizza for everybody that has stayed. So we'll get back to Tom for that. So thank you, Francesca. I first of all want to say that I'd love to, if you'll allow me, accept this in tribute to all of those immensely talented, resourceful, and tenacious leaders of nonprofit organizations in our community, and the boards and staffs that support their work. It's really an honor to receive this, and first of all, it's an honor to go into a class that's distinguished by Yvette being a co-member of this class. So congratulations to you, and you do distinguish me by being my fellow inductee. But it's also an honor because it's the inductees, the former inductees themselves, that vote on this. So that's an extraordinary thing, because I've been coming to this lunch for a long time, watching these business leaders, being inspired by them. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. So my first business venture was selling old rock and roll magazines out of my high school locker. I got my brothers, David's friends, to buy them up when they went up to Detroit. And they buy them in bulk and at discount, and then I'd sell them at retail. Hot stuff in a small town that otherwise had no access to rock news. You see, during those days growing up in small town Ohio, Fremont, Ohio, rock and roll was my ticket to imagining a bigger world and my role in it. My brother David and I had to strain to hear the music from the AM static of the only radio station playing it in our area that served our area, and that was CKLW in Detroit. But listen and dream, I did. So when I think about the journey that led me here today, touring across America with bands and then with John Glenn and his presidential campaign, producing nearly 2,000 concerts, and now heading the Columbus Foundation, I think of the way Morgan Freeman described Buddy Guy when Buddy was presented with the Kennedy Center honor 2 years ago, saying that Buddy, quote, had built a bridge from roots to rock and roll, and his music brought us together. Well, I'm no Buddy Guy, but my journey has been the reverse of that. For me, it was about building a bridge from rock and roll to planting roots right here in Columbus, with the goal of doing what I can to help us work together, to build together, and succeed together as a community. Some years ago, I struck a deal with Disney to manage Chicago's flagship theater, the Chicago Theater, for them. So I read with interest Alan Horn, the chairman of Walt Disney Studios, comments just a few days ago, which described his job. He's the chairman of Walt Disney Studios. He described his job as, "I'm just a janitor with a reel of keys." I love how that metaphor captures the need for both humility and utility. Likewise, there are so many folks who deserve a spot on stage with me today because I had the chance to hold the keys for them over these years. Among those are my team members at Kappa for those 18 extraordinary years, and my enormously skilled, devoted, and distinguished colleagues at the Columbus Foundation. But above all, the board members of Kappa and the Columbus Foundation, without whose support and trust we simply could not have scaled the mountains we did and continue to do. 30 years ago, Larry Fisher, Gene D'Angelo, and others convinced me to forego law school for the third time, to come to Columbus to turn around the almost bankrupt Ohio Theater. Were it not for the encouragement of so many, including Bill Blair, and the vote of confidence Abigail Wexner, Diamond McPherson, and John Wolfe gave me to lead the Columbus Foundation, today's honor would not have been possible for me. But as devoted as I am to my work, I simply wouldn't be where I am today without my wife, Monica, who has her own startup called Momentum, which works in schools with over 800 inner-city youth each year using the arts to teach discipline and build potential. There would have been no earning this Hall of Fame honor without Monica's support, hard work, and patience. Thank you, dear. And to our children, Fred, Lex, and Clara, you have so much to offer the world. You are my inspiration. Thanks to the openness and support of this community, today it is easier for me to hear life's music amidst the static. And thanks to you and your generosity, we are helping countless others to do the same, to realize their potential and their dreams in the process, right here in Columbus. So, to Junior Achievement and the members of the Hall of Fame, thank you for this honor. To David and Nancy, Tanisha, and Yo-Yo. I didn't see Yo-Yo here. Yo-Yo? No. But to David and Nancy and Tanisha, thank you so much for your kind words in the video. To my friends, the Buckskins, the Huron Shale Literary Club, and others, the collaborative group who are with us today of great nonprofit leaders, I say thank you to you and to all of you in this room for all you are doing for Columbus and the young people of Columbus. And as Jerry Mock said to us before she died just a few months ago, long live the spirit of Columbus. Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Doug. Well deserved. I'm not sure if you realize Yo-Yo Ma called him a wacko. And he wants to clone him. Come on up, kids. I want to bring back Nevaeh and Maxwell to close out this wonderful luncheon. Before you leave, please again remember Mike Davis's plea, take that engagement form with you as well. Can I squeeze in the middle? Mm-hmm. You go up there.
Congratulations to Deanna Ciccarella, our new Educator of the Year, Jack Franchel, our Volunteer of the Year, Yvette McGee-Brown, and Doug Crowler, our new laureates.
Please don't forget to get involved with JA with your time or your donations to help other kids like us experience what Junior Achievement can do for them.
And I would just like to close it out by thanking these kids and all our other junior hosts and let all of you know that I too have a business card if you need one. Have a great day. Please visit Junior Achievement if you have the time. Wait, bye. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.